Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and I'll be talking about the easiest Techmarine build in Space Marine 2 patch 12 to push into higher difficulty operations and hard strats. Now, the main idea behind this build is stacking things like range damage reduction on top of armor restoration, and using some of the easier bolter options like Precision Servo or like the standard bolter option with the Burn perk. Now, the primary weapon I've selected here is the Heroic Heavy Bolt Rifle. Mainly because this is like the best primary on the Techmarine currently, thanks to the grenade launcher attachment. Grenades will get you back all of your contested HP pretty much instantaneously, on top of giving you stagger and more horde control, so really good overall for him, on top of the fact that this weapon is just a pretty good bolter option in the game already. Now, for the perk tree on this, I do take the perk here, Headhunter first for 10% more headshot damage, then I move here into the perk, Adamant Hunter. When your health is below 30%, headshots will deal 25% more damage. Now, usually on the Techmarine, being below 30% HP kind of sucks because that does put you into like one-shot stunlock territory, but a 25% damage buff here while below this HP threshold is still a pretty strong effect, so we do pick this up. Next perk here is Fast Reload into the perk here, Able Reload. After you use a class ability, the equipped weapon instantaneously reloads. This is actually a pretty good perk on Techmarine because your servo gun can be turned on and off again pretty easily, so triggering this like automatically reload your weapon, that's an easy thing to pull off. Next perk here is Headhunter down here into the perk Great Might. Then I pick up the perk Increased Capacity. This one gives you a 20% increase to your ammo reserves. Now this counts for both your grenade launcher attachment and your base ammo, so really good all around for this build. And the other perk I take is up here with the perk Tactical Precision. Headshots deal 20% more damage. Non-headshot damage decreases by 10%. Headshot damage is still worth taking on this build, even though you do lose 10% damage on your grenade launcher. That doesn't hurt too much because the CHP recovery here is still pretty much instant, and the 20% damage bonus to your headshots and hard strats and operations, that is definitely worth it. I would definitely pick this one up. Next perk here is Recoupment. Killing a Majoris or higher enemy with a headshot of this weapon restores one armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. Now, armor restore is a very powerful effect in Space Marine 2 already. Any amount of armor remaining will reduce all incoming melee damage to 0, even from bosses. So having a free armor restoration built into your primary weapon, that is a pretty awesome perk effect, and a 15-second cooldown is really not that bad at all. Next perk here is Rapid Health. When your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores your health by 10%. This is actually a really good perk on the Techmarine, mainly because he does not want to be below 30% HP, because like I mentioned before, that puts you into like one-shot stunlock territory, which is a pretty bad place to be on this class. It's also very easy to trigger on the Heroic Heavy Bolt Rifle because you do have a grenade launcher just blow up like 7 Hormiguns. Next perk here is Perpetual Penetration, and the final perk is Divine Might for a 10% damage buff, and that's pretty much all there is for the Heroic Heavy Bolt Rifle. Now for the secondary weapon selection, I do take the Rate of Fire Plasma Pistol, mainly because this weapon is great for staggering both Chaos Spawn and Soul Cannon Terminators and stuff like that, and without this weapon, you do kind of struggle against Chaos sometimes, though I will say the Heroic Heavy Bolt Rifle is still pretty damn strong at interrupting a lot of the more annoying enemies on Chaos. I just take the Plasma Pistol for like a secondary effect, on top of the fact that the CHP recovery here is top tier as well. Now for the perk tree on this, I do go all the way down the top tree, things like Plasma Collection into the perk Rapid Cooling. Really, you always build the top tree on the Plasma Pistol. This just has all the perks you actually want. You get things like Efficient Charge, you get things like Perpetual Velocity for a 20% faster charge rate. The Rate of Fire stat here also ups your base charge rate already, so this perk actually stacks on top of that even better. And the final perks here are things like Plasma Collection and Divine Might, and that's pretty much all you want on this weapon. Now, alternatively, you could take things like the Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol or the Standard Heavy Bolt Pistol. These are still quite good. I just think the Plasma Pistol is overall better for the build. That's pretty much all there is for the secondary. Now, for the melee weapon, I do take the Heroic Combat Knife, the Argent Edge. I know we have a Power Gladius skin here. We'll swap that out for a second. But the big thing about the Argent Edge is that you have the heroic perk effect here, Scathing Retort. The riposte window is shorter, but each riposte deals damage. All this means by riposte is perfect parry window, so your perfect parry window is a little bit shorter, but each perfect parry will do a bit of damage. And on top of that, this weapon will interrupt any attack in an enemy's combo chain and stagger them immediately and give you a gun strike. So this is by far the best fencing weapon in the game currently, in my opinion. It's actually kind of insane how much this prevents stun locks in Space Marine 2 currently. So if you're going for like a fencing option, I would pretty much always pick this up. But if you are not comfortable with that shorter parry window, you could take other options, like maybe even the fencing Omniscient Axe or fencing Power Axe. That is up to you, but overall, the Argent Edge is definitely the safest weapon out of the bunch. Now, for the perk tree here, I do take the perk Armor Strength first, moving here into the perk Sharp Impact. Right and left Skull Crusher AoE radius increases by 50%. This weapon only has a 3 plus speed, so taking perks like Kinetic Energy, I don't think it's really worth it at all. You don't get a ton of consecutive heavy attacks on this weapon in my experience, so taking this one's a bit better for horde clear. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength again, moving here into the perk Combined Onslaught. Light combo attacks of this weapon deal 10% more melee damage. Like I said before, you don't use the heavy attacks as much on this one as say like a Power Gladius, so I do pick this one up instead. And the final perks here are Tide of Battle, Shoulder Bash for a better lunging attack, and then I pick up Reeling Blow into Extremis Slayer and Hard Target for a 15% range damage reduction here on a light combo. This will actually stack with things like Omnisci and Axe Deflection while this is active, on top of things like Scramble Targeting or Defensive Stance, to give you well over like 50% plus range damage reduction, which is very strong in this game. You actually feel range damage reduction a lot on most builds, but especially this one because you have a ton of armor regen with stuff like Battlefield Repairs and Fortifying Salvo. Now, for the perk tree here, since we just swapped off of it for a second, but for the perk tree here, we do take the perk Explosive Enfilade first. After using equipment, your range damage increases by 15% for 10 seconds. The main reason I take the Bolter Servo option is because the Bolter Servo gun is very good at just pressing the ability button. The shots are near instant, they travel much faster than Plasma does, and they will recover you your contested health on top of applying the burn. So that is a much better thing for newer players, I think. Now, something new players might also benefit from is using the Precision Enhancement on top of Decapitating Stratagem or Lethal Perimeter, and mainly because this weapon, the Sniper Servo here, will one-shot Zoanthropes and damn near one-shot the Neurothropes in the game. Those are two of the most annoying enemies for a lot of players, so picking this one up, that can help you tremendously in this game, but you know, that is up to you. I think the Bolter Servo here is also quite strong. Next perk here is Omnisci and Axe Deflection. After a perfect parry or perfect block, you take 25% less damage from range attacks for 10 seconds. Now, this perk is amazing with the Arch and Edge because you really don't need things like Arc Cleave at all. Arc Cleave gives you a 20% melee damage bonus to charge melee attacks. You hardly do that on the Arch and Edge whatsoever, so this perk is kind of useless for you. And the perk over here, Methodical Destruction, is pretty good. Omnisci and Axe Deflection is just way safer. Next perk here is a Long Range Barrage. Range damage at ranges greater than 20 meters increases by 25%. This is a great perk with like pretty much any bolter gun in the game, but especially ones like the Heroic Heavy Bolt Rifle times 2 headshot multiplier, and Oculus Carbine, because being 20 meters away from an enemy, that happens pretty often, and the weapon spread on these weapons is really not that bad at all. Next perk here is Battlefield Repairs. Squad members restore 1 additional armor segment for finishers, armadores, or extremis enemies. An extra armor in this game on top of range damage reduction is incredibly powerful. This is by far the best team perk on the Techmarine currently since they buffed it up. It used to be the worst, but these days I would definitely grab it. Next perk here is an Inexorable Salvo. While the servo gun is active, you don't lose control from heavy hits and cannot be knocked back. The effect lasts 15 seconds after deactivation. Having no knockback will prevent you from getting stun locked. Having a 15-second uptime for using your bolter for like 2 seconds is super nice to have. This is by far the best perk in this column at the moment for this build. Next perk here is Replenishing Salvo. Killing or incapacitating an enemy with the servo gun restores 1 equipment charge. The cooldown is 75 seconds. A 75-second Melt-A-Bomb, Crack Grenade, Shock Grenade, Frag, these are all incredibly useful abilities. Alternatively, you could pick up Augmented Tarantula. This perk is also very strong. You definitely feel the Sentry Gun damage increase here, and the longer duration is very noticeable, but either of these is a very powerful option for your build. I think the current weakest option is Augmented Ammunition. Next perk here is Fortifying Salvo. Killing or incapacitating an enemy with the servo gun restores 1 armor segment. The cooldown is 30 seconds. This is just a bit of redundancy for your armor restoration. You can definitely use this off cooldown. A 30-second cooldown for getting 1 armor back is actually pretty good in Space Marine 2, and you really don't need things like Strategic Gun Strike unless you're using Decapitating Stratagem and the perk over here, Precision Enhancement, which is another reason I think the bolter option is better for this build in particular. The final perk option here is Omnisci's Fury. Servo gunshots set enemies on fire. If you are using the plasma or the bolter servo gun, you just take the burn perk, because without burn, these weapons kind of suck, so definitely grab this one. This will make your life significantly easier against hordes, bosses, and really anything you're fighting. Now, for the prestige perk options, I do take Chained Headshots first for bonus headshot damage for a heavy bolt rifle. Then I take Unflinching Focus because of being invulnerable while you're activating a Tarantula Sentry Gun. That is an invaluable perk. You pretty much always pick this up. And the final perks here are Stim Boost for 40% more HP from stims, and Defensive Stance for 20% less range damage while surrounded by 5 or more enemies. On this build, you really do not need things like Furious Gunstrike because your melee damage hardly matters at all. Blast Radius is pretty good, but kind of redundant at times because a lot of the weapons in this game, or the equipment, excuse me, they already one-shot guys, even without like this bonus radius, and you're going to kill most of the guys in front of you anyways. And the next perk here, Volatile Sentry, despite having a 1000% damage increase on a Sentry Gun Explosion, that barely does anything except one-shot Majoras, and Majoras aren't always nearby your Sentry anyway, so I would definitely skip over this one. And that's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. I do think this is currently the easiest to run Techmarine build in the game. Hopefully this build guide helped you, and if you want to watch me live to ask me questions about the game or just come hang out, you can find me here on YouTube or on Twitch with a link in the video description alongside a link to my community Discord. And as always, guys, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
That's
over.
See? Level 15 billion divination. And more Zangors just for me. Actually can't get up in time. You guys are definitely worthy of that. Is that not a disgusting knockdown time in this game, though? Actually long enough that you can't get up to react to the plasma shot. Speaking of campaign to operations, I want Gadriel's ability in the PvE. Which one even is Gadriel's ability? Pyron had Auspex, didn't he? Oh, this is super not toxic at all. Oh, you guys need to die. Oh. Yeah. Because all these Runic Marines are just gonna like help me endlessly if I don't kill them quickly.
Heretic activity quelled. Spec weaponry. Mind scan to wound. Thousand Suns champion
Gotta get rid of these guys. Fields. Can't see shit now, though. Melt the bomb would be nice right now, but what are you gonna do? That works too. Gadriel's abilities for like an AoE push. Oh yeah, they actually just put that in the Sanctified Wrath Reliquary. I almost forgot. I forgot, like, yeah, the whole push effect of Gadriel's campaign ability, that's on the Sanctified Wrath Reliquary in this game now. What faction enemies do you want to see? I think we'll see in Space Marine 3. Probably asset flips mostly in this game, so Tyranids for sure, I would say. There's no way they're not going to have Tyranids. They might skip Thousand Suns. They might actually just skip them this time. It depends on how asset flippy they want to go, you know? But people are not a big fan of them. People like Tyranids in this game, though, so they're planning to put those in the next one. I don't think anybody would complain about that.
Heretic specialist suppressed.
Now you say that the Sanctified Wrath Reliquary does it. You're correct. Yeah, so you're not wrong that it would fit a chaplain ability. Because Sanctified Wrath Reliquary is kind of like a chaplain ability anyways.
Restore this sentry to operational status.
Well, see Necrons. You know, I see a lot of people say that the next faction they put in, like Necrons wouldn't work, or like X, Y, and Z wouldn't work, but I don't really think that's true, you know? It really depends how they implement them.
Heretic commander eliminated. No turning back. Understood.
And make it work by design. Yeah, talented game dev can definitely make anything work. There are satisfying ranged combat loops in games somewhere out there in the, you know, the general era of the world and such.
Its maliciousness is hot. Foes call upon their reserve forces. The enemy bolsters their forces. Ready.
Ow.
Hellspawn vivisection complete. Gunstrike ready to deploy. Enemies of the Imperial.
Hey FTG, I'm new to this game. Thanks to your videos, I've learned and understood many things about this game. I can help Chris. For the good work, I will continue forever.
Fresh ammunition.
The minions of the arch enemy are no more.
Adequate performance.
Oh, did you guys see you're playing the superior enemy faction? I mean, I play chaos all the time. Definitely not the superior faction, though.
Cogitations are clear. We cannot preserve this blessed vehicle. with
Definitely
such a
not
meager
the
number
superior
of troops.
faction.
Thalassa is not there to provide you
They haven't
with
done a very good job of
They
making
are
these
there
guys
to
fun to
unveil
fight,
our
I can't lie.
battle plans for flight.
It's been a year and a half now.
Possibly break free of Demarium's gravity in its present condition. We only require that it
How long do
reach
you
the
play
enemy
for?
vessel and
Forever, dude.
destroy
What do you mean?
it. The engine should
How long does FTG play Space Marine 2?
Vessel's fusion batteries are fully depleted.
An absurd amount.
There's no charge to start the ship's reactor. There must be a solution to this fuel issue. There is a fusion battery unit we could use to break up the reactor. It too will require
The
charging
Sorcerer
power
Terminator is not going to help, I fear. You know, it's really funny that Focus said, the Focus community manager is like, what do you guys think the boss is going to be for? Which faction? And it's like, as if we don't all already know. As if every leak in this game has not been true. You play almost daily, almost. How about literally daily? How about daily for a year and a half? Just because I don't stream doesn't mean I'm not playing it.
Inserting fresh magazines. Restoring sentry to battle-ready status.
Wow, they really tried to stack shit on me there. That's rude. Oh, yes, are all... Can we stop with the ranged man, please?
Gun is fully operational.
Or is it your thing for the prime?
We have demolished the virulent automaton.
I bet they end up nerfing torrential sentry guns. I mean, torrential sentry guns aren't even OP now. They were OP in the PTS. I don't know where this idea that Saber nerf shit comes from all the time, because they do not nerf many things in Space Marine 2 at all. The only thing I can really remember that was a substantial nerf was Adrenaline Rush on the Vanguard going from 10 to 5%, and Grenade Launcher, Invigorating Icon. Like, those were all egregiously overpowered perks. Are you going to the Skulls event this year? Going to it. I mean, I'm going to live stream it. I'm not going to go to it. I'm too busy playing Space Marine 2 to go to any events. I don't plan on exiting my house for the next 3 years. The dream. Oh, that's the dream. All that time, so just think about like all the hours you're wasting in a car going to an event that you could be playing Space Marine 2.
Perhaps in the machine god's infinite wisdom, they permit the transgression you're about to commit. Do not speak beyond your ken, engine seer. It does not take a locust to see this act of desperation.
Or, you know, playing other Warhammer 40k games.
Mutated wretch dispatched. Replenishing ordnance.
FCG, what do you think about Daffy Duck? Inferior to Bugs Bunny, but he's okay, I guess. God. Base mindset. You know, people have been telling me for over almost 2 years now, you're gonna get burnt out, yet here we are. You like Star Wars? Yeah, I like the mall show. It's pretty good. All these fucking rings, man. That one stagger almost got nuked by the enraged guy. I'm also impressed I haven't burnt out of the game yet. It probably is because Saber takes feedback. I mean, even if they didn't take feedback, I'd still be playing. Wait, there's a mall show? Yeah, there is. Just came out. It actually just finished. Not that anybody has Disney Plus anymore. Prediction for the next Primarch return to the setting after Peter Turbo. It's either going to be Vulcan, Dorn, or Lehman Russ and Jagatai Khan. It's one of those four. Sandman thinks it's going to be Jagatai Khan. The Khan. Could be him. We'll see. This is where chaos is obnoxious, when you just have like 3 Rubric Marines standing like 30 meters apart from each other. Very fun. Isn't Dorn dead? How does that work? Oh, Dorn's not dead anymore. They changed that. He's lost his hand. You don't know where he is. The only loyalist Primarchs 100% confirmed dead right now are like Sanguinius, Eris Manus. Is there even another one? I don't remember. We have Corvus, not Corvus Corax. Oh, I can't be actually. Am I actually forgetting the name of the Night Lord's Primarch right now? Please, guys. Conrad Kurtz. He's dead. And of course Horus, who's like super dead. Horus is probably the most dead of all of them, on account of his soul no longer existing. I'd say that's a pretty final death if you ask me. What about second final death? The second final death is usually inferior to the first one.
Replenishing ordnance. Munitions replenished.
Isn't Kurtz dead? Yeah, well, Kurtz is not a loyalist Primarch.
Heretic specialists suppressed.
Bring the Fulcrum clone back. Alright, let's spin around. Dude, I can't. No. I can't tell you how many times I've been shot in the back there by a sniper while hitting that button. What's your hot take in Warhammer? I don't know if I have one. Everything's a hot. You know, if you have any opinion on anything, though, it's a hot take to somebody, right? Oh, probably I like Primaris more than Firstborn. Probably that. I think Primaris are cooler. And I think the controversy around Primaris is the dumbest shit ever. And they're gonna be here forever, so people better get used to them. In fact, you're probably gonna have more Primaris fans pretty soon than you're gonna have Firstborn fans, because the more people that get into 40k, the more they're gonna be engaging with Primaris. What a hot take. Is that even a hot take? Firstborn helmets are cooler though. Well, Firstborn helmets go on Mark X power armor anyways, so who cares? What's my other hot take? Oh, also things like Titans are lame. I don't like the vehicles in 40k that much outside of the guardsman stuff. Like Lehman Russes are cool, but like the gigantic mechs in 40k are dumb as fuck to me. I hate them. That's just personal preference. Like the big walking things, when I see people like glaze these gigantic walking mechs in 40k, I'm always like, oh my god. How do we like any of this? It looks so dumb. How cool is a walking cathedral? Not very, in my opinion. The Sisters of Battle one's pretty cool, but... Not even Land Raiders? Nah, not really. Thunderhawks are okay. I don't mind their vehicle stuff, but like the mech stuff is primarily what I don't like. Trying to thin ice there, guardsman? Not really. I do like some of the vehicles, but I like most of the guardsman stuff. I have the tanks. I like their new model set look pretty cool. I just don't care for Astartes vehicles. In my opinion, like Astartes are usually supposed to be the vehicles. I don't mind dreadnoughts. They're okay. Oh, your hottest take yet, FTG? No, I just think it looks dumb. I don't think that's like... I don't think that's that but rare of an opinion. I think most of the people I've met that don't like 40k think all the vehicles look stupid. It's more of a hot take within the fandom.
We're almost there. What is your status? The sleeping giant will soon awaken, brother. Hold for our signal. Transmitting targeting signal now. Excuses boosting. When we have it.
Your data is clouded, Lieutenant. Maintain close proximity to targets.
What about jet bikes and speeders? They're okay. Just none of them makes you go like, wow. I think they're all mid to meh. Mid, meh, or bad. I don't think there's a single vehicle in 40k I'm like, holy shit. At least not for the Imperium.
The vessel is ready. May this machine's service be forever remembered. Engines primed, Lieutenant. Give us the word. Lock target now.
Routing signal data through telemetry systems. Numerous errors detected due to signal interference.
There we go.
Calculating trajectory.
Not even the Astartes anti-grav tank. Let's see. Prediction on who the next voice pack chapters will be besides Raven Guard. I'm betting Salamanders and White Scars, and we already have a White Scars head. Data mine, so probably that.